I really want a lot of features. So text functions will finish today, and we'll try to finish date and time as well.
Ishani, is this the same PPT you have uploaded on Ivy?
Yes, not complete. As in when I'm doing, I'm uploading it.
Okay, because yesterday I was searching out for those pages. I couldn't find that.
Okay. Today, as much as I've done, I'll just double check. 11th still, I think 11th session I've uploaded. 12th and 13th I've not. So I'll upload 12th and 13th today.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's start working with the text and the dates. Once we are done with our text functions and the date functions, then we get into all the most important functions of Power BI. So that will be calculate and all filter functions. And I think I have this feeling we will take one more class on this. So that will be session 15. And then next sessions should be fairly easy to understand. Only problem is going to be in DAX, and then rest of the things like bookmarking, navigations, all that drill down, filters, that should go pretty smooth. So let's start. So just like how we saw the functions yesterday, which was related to the logical operators, we also have functions which are related to text. So again, most of these functions that you will see in Power BI, you will see they are exactly same as Excel. And it makes sense because this is also a Microsoft Office product, and Excel is also a, yes, we are going to cover the time intelligence functions. Yes, Gunjan, those are again very important, especially when we are trying to create our KPI cards. So for that, definitely we'll cover them. So both of them belong to the same parent company. Hence, there's a lot of synergy in Power BI and Excel. That's why it becomes a little easier to learn this particular tool. So we finished or we did these questions over here. Now we'll come to the text functions. Again, these functions you will see are very common functions from Excel. Anybody knows what is a len function? These are Excel functions. That's the reason I'm asking if you know it or not. What is a len function do?
It gives you the length of the
string.
Length of a string, absolutely. How many characters are there? It finds that. Now again, the debate may be len is also there in transformation. Why should I do it over here? Like I said, a lot of DAX functions you will feel that it exists in transformation and it exists over here. So if I don't want to go to the transformation, do my work in DAX, I can do everything pretty much in DAX over here. Right? So len does what? It returns a number of characters in a string. What is the syntax? Len, and whatever is the field on which you want to work, right? Then we have concatenate. What does concatenate do for us?
Adding the word.
Not add. When you say add, it's a plus sign.
To join
points
the two.
To join. Absolutely. To join. So when you want to join. So if you remember, yesterday we did and or. And what was the limitation in these and or functions?
Only for logical.
Absolutely
Only two
correct.
logical.
Only two logical tests were
Yes.
allowed. Same thing happens in the function called concatenate. It only allows you to concatenate or join two texts, right? Two strings, two fields. And if I want to join more than two fields, what should I use?
Ampersand.
Ampersand. Absolutely. Then I'll use ampersand if more than two strings are involved over here, right? Then we have functions like left, mid, and right. What is the role of left, mid, and right?
Alignment.
Gives you the character from the left.
So if you want
Yes.
to know the left of
These are
any
extraction functions. Okay, left, mid, right. More than, it's not alignment, it's for extraction. So what does left do? Like the name suggests, it will extract everything from the left hand side. So all you have to do is tell that, okay, what is the text or the field in this case, and how many number of characters you want to extract. Same thing happens for the right. From extreme right, it will start extracting. You again tell, okay, which is a field and how many number of characters we want to extract. So just to give you a quick demo of these functions. For example, if I go to the customer table, right? And I've already got fields like full name, that was through transformation. Then I also got full name too. That was also, I think, if I remember correctly, it's again through the transformation. Now, if I wanted to create one more time, I'll create using the DAX. So I can right click. This is going to be a measure or a column. If I have to create a full name from the
Column.
prefix first name,
Column.
it is going to be a column. Correct. So I will do a create new column. I'll just write full name DAX. Which function should I use?
Concatenate first name.
Use the function concatenate.
But there is full name already there.
I can't use concatenate, right? If I can use concatenate only if they were first and last. But over here we have three things.
Then
So what can I use?
And
And ampersand. We will use ampersand. So we want prefix, ampersand. Then next thing should be
first name.
first name.
no. You're
Or
going
the
to
space.
Space.
the space. Absolutely correct. You want to put the space in there and ampersand. Then you put your first name. Again ampersand.
Then again,
Space. Ampersand. Your last name. And we press enter. Once we do that, again we created a column called full name DAX. Columns are available in your tables, and if I look at it, full name DAX is written over here, and I've got my names as I wanted it. Simple?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, now let's say if I wanted to where is the customer?
Ishani, even if I'm doing concatenate, I need to give space there, right?
Yes.
With
You have to.
apostrophes.
Yes, double quotes and a space, a particular space over there. Yes.
Okay.
Where is my customer key? Okay, over here is my customer key. All right. Let's say I have my. Okay, let's do this example. Remember, we had done this question in which we had taken out the username, and then we took AdventureWorks. Remember this question? Email ID. We created two columns with username.
Yes.
Yes.
And what username and domain name? These two things.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's say if I want to do the same thing with our DAX functions. Okay. How do you think we'll do with DAX?
Left, right, mid.
Left, right, mid, use all. Which one? If I want to get a username, what should I use?
Left.
Mid.
Left, correct. Why? Because the username starts from extreme left. Now, how will I tell how many number of characters?
Can we give
We will
before
use
at the
length.
rate?
We will give a condition like
Before at
everything
the-
before. And
Everything
at the
before
rate.
at the rate. And how
At
will
the
you,
rate.
which function will help you to find the position of at the rate?
Find.
Find function.
Fine.
Correct. All these are again part of your typical. Where did my Power BI go? Yeah, this is my Power BI. These are typical Excel functions, right? So right click, measure or a column.
Column.
The column.
We want column. All right. So this is what we want is the username. DAX. So we can use left. It requires a text and number of characters. Text is going to be email, address. Number of characters we'll use find function. And find us what? It says find text within the text. And what is the start position? If not found, what do you want to return? What are we looking for? We are looking for at the rate. Correct? Within the text, which text? Email address. And start position, by default, it's in square brackets, the same fund as XXL. If anything is in square bracket, it's optional and it has a default value attached to it. The default value is 1. 1 means extreme left. So from extreme left, it is going to start searching for A. And what does find return? Find returns the position of the element. Okay, and over here we put want to put if value not found. What do I want to return? Okay, let's leave that part. That's going to be debatable. So at the rate I reach. Now, do I want to extract everything including at the rate or without at the rate?
+1 will be
Without
there.
Without at the rate.
Without.
Without at the rate. So I'll have to do a -1. -1. I don't want at the rate, right? So a -1 and close the bracket for left. Once we do that, we press enter. So like always, we're going to quickly go over here. It says username DAX and we are getting that same answers as we were getting before. Shannon 38, Jesse 9, Ruben 1, Ruben 30, and so on and so forth. Clear? So this is how we use our left function. Any questions? And similarly, just like we use left, we can use a right function. Same way. Any questions so far?
Ishani, can you
Yes.
explain find syntax again?
Find, sure. So find is, like I said, it's a function of Excel. And what does find really do? Find will, let's say if I say Sanjeet, right? I want to find the position of n. Okay, so that's the work of two functions. Either you can use find or you can use a function called search. So when you look at find, it says find text means whose position do you want? We want the position of n. Within text, where are you trying to find it? I'm trying to find it over here. And again, start number is 1. So I can close the bracket, press enter, I'll get 3. Right? Now, if I go back over here to what I had done, I said I am in find, I'm looking for @ because I know I have my username before @. All the characters before @ are my username. So in order to find the number of characters, and why we had to put a formula, because it's varying. For some people, it may be 7. For some people, it may be 9. So it keeps on varying. So how do we do it? You use a find function, look for @. Where are we looking for? We are looking for an email address. And once we found it, so it has counted all the way till @.
Right.
Right? And I don't want @ to be extracted. So a -1 for that.
Okay. If you have to find in between somewhere, then
In between
Right
as
now-
an extract or find.
find.
Find works anywhere, right? In between
You
as
said-
in it goes from, it starts from left side to search for it. So when it's giving position, right?
Yeah. As
It's
you're
giving
saying
position-
that,
Mhm.
saying that it is starting from the start. So you are considering it as 1, right?
Mhm. So
What's the
even
other
if
way?
you don't, irrespective from where you start searching, it always starts from the left hand side in search. Okay. Now, where does why start number becomes important? For example, if I'm just going to give you a middle name, Sanjeet, sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Now, let's say if I'm looking for a space,
Okay.
right? Now, when I ask find that go look for the space in this cell,
Yes.
it will give me 8.
Yes.
Now, if I want to look for the second space, can I find it? No. Why? Because duplicacy problem is there, just like in Excel.
Yes.
So space is a duplicate. So every time it searches, it's going to end up at the first available.
Right.
So in such cases, if I wanted to find the second space, I would have used the start number. And I would say, look for the space within this text. And now I'm going to use my start number and say, wherever is a first place, +1 should be my start number. Meaning what I'm trying to do, I'm using the start number to skip my first position.
Okay.
So instead of searching, so it's going to count from left. Okay, mind that the
Yes.
position is always going to be from left. But when it starts searching, now instead of searching from S and going and looking for space, it is now starting from R and looking for space.
Okay. So it's
Okay.
skipping the first space.
First space, yes. But the answer that I get is 10. Why 10? Because still Sanjeet and space, it's 8. R is 9 and the space is 10. So counting is still from left, extreme
Okay.
left. So it's not that it's going to count and say 2. Position is still over there, but first position can be the starting position can be exploited in this way in order to achieve our goals.
Got it. Thank
All
you.
right. You're welcome. Okay, let's try to do the other one also, and hopefully in that way your mid function will also get cleared. What is the role of a mid function? Like the name suggests, it can find in the, it's not just like middle, but if I don't want to extract something from extreme left, or I don't want to extract something from extreme right, but somewhere in there, right? Not extreme left, not extreme right, then we use a mid function. Now in mid function, since there's no predefined place from where it should count and extract, that's why another thing gets included in it, that is the start position. So I need to give the text, I need to give, okay, from which position should I start and how many number of characters do I want? Got it? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now to get the domain name, this is going to look very tricky. So I'm giving a heads up. It is going to look very tricky. So how will I find my domain name? And you might be thinking, why on earth are we learning these things?
First, we will find the place of @ and then from that count, we will use the mid function.
But till what position?
Till dot.
Till dot. Okay. So if you use the mid function, mid says, what is the text? Text is the email address. Correct?
Yes.
Now it is saying in email address, from where do you want me to start extracting? So from where do we want it to start extracting?
Find from @
Find @ from the @ position. Plus
Plus
1.
+1.
Correct. +1. So find, I'm looking for @ and I'm looking for it in the email address and +1. Perfect. How
So
many
+1.
characters should I extract? Number of characters.
Till dot.
Yeah.
From where?
From
From @ plus
Plus
1.
+1.
Count length of email, total number of characters, minus last find space, last find position.
Why total length? I'm just giving a 4 over here, okay, to finish off my formula so that it doesn't give me error. And let's travel back to Excel. So let's say one of the names is, let's say Jessie9 @ what was it? Adventure work. Adventure _ works.com. Right? Now, if you have to identify where is the domain name, so typically what you should do in order to make your work easier, identify which two components it lies between. So where does it lie? It lies after your @ and before your .com. Correct?
I understand that
Yes.
this is the last name. So length of all characters.
But why do I need length? If I know the length of this
I
character,
understood that.
and if I can't hear you, Vivek, your voice is high. I'm hardly able to hear that. What are you saying?
I'm saying that I understood that this is the last name. So I told, because
Okay.
the last name, so we can do this.
Okay. So if I find .com, I can find it in L2. And if I know the length of L1, which is @, now if I have L2 and I have L1, what do I need to subtract? L2 minus L1. Vivek, please mute. Okay, L2 minus L1. And when I do this, another -1 will come, because it typically, when you're subtracting the position of the two delimiters, if I may call that, then another extra number comes up. So for example, this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 plus 8 is 24. Right? So this is 24. So 24 minus, oh, so 16, right? So when I do 24 minus 8, it becomes 16, and that will give me a dot also. But I don't want a dot. So that's why a -1 would come. Clear? So now how will we write it? Like I had told you, this is going to look very complicated. Instead of 4, there will be 2 find functions.
Yes.
So find, what am I looking for? First, I look for .com. I can look for .com, or I can look for dot with an email address, minus find, looking for @ comma
.com is
email address.
.com is not there.
Say that
Actually,
again.
you have not write the .com.
No, you put dot or .com. It's the same thing, right? Because with the dot also, I'm finding the same position.
Yes.
And a -1. So once I do this and I press enter, let's see, I've got the domain name. Got it? From the domain name, write function would be simple one. No,
Why
can't use write because Shweta .com is there and domain name does not have a .com in it. You remember domain name we took only as AdventureWorks. That's why.
Yes, we can remove then again to
Write another function.
Yeah. To write.
Shani, why did we use @ again?
@ again, because first one @ was used to tell from where to start.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you remember, mid function asks, okay, this is the text, from where do I start? So the first @ went over here. The second @ is needed for finding the number of characters I want to extract. So how do you find that number of characters? L2 minus L1, where L1 is your @ and this is .com or com dot. So that's why another time @ came, because I had to find this value over here and plug it in. Okay, so don't fret too much. My duty is to make you aware these kind of things exist, but it is not necessary you will have to do DAX. You have your wonderful transformation section where these things are taken care of so easily. Okay, Imran, is it clear why @ came again?
Yes, Shani.
All right. Okay, what else is left? So mid is there. Then we have upper and lower. Beautiful functions. What upper and lower does, they change the cases.
Yes.
One changes to uppercase, one changes to lowercase, and then we also have something called a proper case. So all these are for changing cases. Then we have a function called substitute. Anybody knows what's the role of substitute? What does substitute function do?
It's just like replace, find and replace. And
It is like replace, yes, but there is a difference between substitute and replace also. Anyone who knows the difference, what in when, which cases I should use substitute versus when should I use it to replace? Nope.
Not sure.
Okay, so substitute is used typically when you have a fixed text to change. For example, over here, if I look at this, I want to change the hyphen to a space, right? So throughout the column, it's a fixed thing that I need to change. Everywhere there's a hyphen, everywhere I want to change it with a space. So when I have this kind of work where there are fixed text to be changed, then we use a substitute. Okay, so how I can use it, I can do a right click on it. Let me create a new column. I'm making my file unnecessarily big. Let's say new domain or revised domain. And how will you use it? Substitute. So it's going to ask text. What do you want to substitute? We want to substitute this domain name DAX. Old text, which component of this old name domain name DAX you want to replace? It is a hyphen, comma, new text. What do you want to replace it with? I want to replace it with space. and I'm skipping the instance number. What instance number does is basically it tells which instance of it you will change. I'll explain that in Excel, okay? So for now, if I press enter, I'm getting this new column called revised domain, and in this nowhere hyphens are there, it's only spaces. And if I wanted to convert this into a proper case, I can write proper over here. And why do I feel proper doesn't exist over here? Proper doesn't have, there's no proper function. So there is no proper function. I think I just wrote while being in Excel mode. I've written that thing. Let me remove it before I tell to others also. Hold on 1 second. I started with upper and lower, and I think since I was writing, I wrote proper also. All right. So for example, over here, what we did, we used substitute to change one same text throughout with the space. Okay. Now, let's say if I wanted to change in the email address that we have over here, I wanted to replace @adventureworks.com with nothing. I don't want to extract, but I want to replace @adventureworks.com with nothing. Then what will we do? Still we can use substitute? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes, Ishan.
Right? We can simply use substitute. But if I wanted to substitute something before @, then can I use substitute? Let's say everybody emails ID, I just want iv@adventureworks.com. Can I do that? All the email IDs converted to iv@adventureworks.com. Will substitute help me in this case?
No,
No, because
because names
the
are
names are
different.
changing.
Yes.
Exactly. The names are changing. So over here we use replace. Okay, just to give an illustration, this is a bad example, but just to show you how replace is different than substitute, if I use replace function, am I writing replace here? Delete column so that I can delete it. Replace old text is email, right? Start position. So substitute works with the text, like what is the text you want to change, and replace works more with the positions. From where do you want to change, right? Start position is going to be 1 because from the beginning I want to change number of characters to change. So I want to change everything before @. How would we find the position of @? By using the find function and comma email address. And a -1 because before everything before @ is what I'm targeting. And what is a new text? I want to put IV by. Understood? So when I press enter, I'll get this new column called iv@adventureworks.com. So irrespective, there were 4 elements over there or 10 elements of there, it got changed. So one works with more with the text, fixed text, and one works with the positions. Clear? Yes.
Ishan,
Now,
Ishan,
yes. Sure.
Could you please show me the syntax of domain DAX? Domain name.
Domain name DAX. And I'll upload this file so that you have all the functions with you.
Okay.
All right. So we have substitute, we have find search. All right, exercise, customer table, create a calculated column. This I've done for you. Create a new column with the username from. Why am I doing all the questions for you? All right, finish it. I didn't realize those are the same questions I demonstrated.
Actually, Shani, I'm getting an error.
Already done.
In
Already
domain DAX.
done?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Arshad, others do it. If you're not done it, please do it. And Arshad, share your screen. I will put the question in over here and stop sharing. Arshad, please share your screen. Full name done. DAX mid is what is the text? Then it says start position. So at the rate. Point plus 1 on it, not dot minus 1. So find dot minus this entire find minus one more minus. After minus 1, put another one. Inside only. Yes, minus. Oh, no. You're getting an error because you put minus 1 in the text. So remove this minus 1. This will come outside your find function, right? This minus 1. Yes, and you will have another minus. First is syntax error. That has been cleared. Your syntax error is not there, but it is logical error is there. So it is the position of dot minus at the rate minus 1. So minus at the rate is missing. So just copy your find part and plug it over here. Understood?
No, actually what I need to do?
So what you have done so far, you understood what syntax error was there? Syntax error was that this minus 1 that you had written next to the field called email address. So I can't subtract 1 from a field.
Okay.
I can subtract 1 from the output of find. Correct? One second. Give me access to your screen once. All right. So what I'm saying is, this is what this portion that I'm highlighting. What is this? This is a field name.
Yes.
Right? You had put a minus 1 right over here. Can it work? Can you do
No,
a
there's
minus
an
1
error.
field?
No, there's an error here. It's comma. It's written. It should be minus of just like this.
What? No,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make Arshad understand, Arshad, that minus 1 cannot come over with the field name. Where will minus 1 come? Basically, what you're saying minus 1 is whatever your find function returns you. Right? When you run a find function, it will give you a value, right? From that, I have to subtract 1.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why I told you put your minus 1 outside the bracket. So that was a syntax error that was there. Now, the second thing I'm asking you is, this is not complete because this component is telling what of mid, it is telling me how many number of characters I want to extract. So the number of characters that I want to extract is find dot, whatever the value comes, minus at the rate, position of at the rate, and then minus 1. So what is still missing logically in this thing is this part. Okay, so I have to put a minus of this. Now is it clear?
Okay. So if I do
Okay.
enter now,
Yes.
yes, it's
All right.
working.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Done. All right. What about others?
Just 1 minute. Sure.
Sure. Pratibha done, Imran done. Tarun also done. Great. What about Shikhar, Sunil, Abhishek? All right. Amit, Girish. Prasad, Maheshwar. Neil.
Doing 2 minutes.
All right. RK, Saikat, Sitaram, Tanu, Govind, Manoj, Yash. Done. Anybody who has DAX full name done. All right. Do the other one also, Girish. Yash done. Sandeep done with the full name. RK done. Arshad done. Sitaram done. Is it hot in all parts of India now? It's boiling in Calcutta now.
It's better at Bangalore.
You are blessed to be in Bangalore. Cities like Bangalore and Pune, I envy such people. But
So windy, but
comparatively,
so windy.
Bangalore has also become a little warmer than, let's say, 10 years back.
In fact, 4 or 5 years back only.
Okay. Yeah, I miss visiting Bangalore. Thanks to Corona, no visits. All right, guys, should we move on? Amit,
Yes, Ishan. Done.
Ranjit, all done? All
Yes.
right. If I copy paste these DAX formulas, can you please show the find function again? Sure, I can. If I copy paste these DAX formulas in the chat window, you guys can't copy it, right?
We can't.
Yes.
You can't, right?
We
You
can't.
can't. Okay, so there's no point. Okay. Two things I'll do. Copy. Kshitij, which one do you want me to give?
Yeah, it's done. Actually, I'm confused about the find syntax. That's why. But
Okay,
it's
now
done
you. Okay, it's done. All right. I'll upload this file so that you guys can look at the formulas. Plus, let's see, I might copy and paste it in the on a Word document also and give it to you. So I'll do that. Okay, let's move on. So next is a date and time functions, important ones. And there is a separate category which we call as time intelligence functions, very important for any of the businesses to understand the parameters by which we are seeing the health of the company, to see on the timelines, like last year to this year, what happened, last month to this month, what happened. We talk about cumulative revenues and the sales. We talk about 10 days period, what happened, and things like that. So we'll cover all that. So in date and time, again, these are all functions coming from Excel. So first set of functions is day, month, year. Anybody knows what is your role of day, month, year? What does day function do? What does month function do? What does year function do? There are three different functions.
Can convert the date into days.
No,
Month and
not
year.
days, but what it does is, for example, if I pick up this calendar date over here, right? This is a complete date, 1st of Jan 2015. But if you create a column called day, okay, I will name it also as a day, and we use a function called day and give the calendar date. what it returns you is the day, the number, like 1, 2, 3. So that's what it returns. So you will see it will return me 1 to 23 and so forth, depending what day it has been mentioned. So the day is that if I make this as a month, then what it does, it returns me the month in which, for which the date has been given. It extracts the month date part. So you want to rename the column. I already have something called month. All right. Choose a different one, DAX. So this will give me what? This will give me extract the month part of the date. So for all the Januaries, this will be 1. If I move to Feb, it will become 2. If I move to March, it will become 3. So what day, month, and year does is basically helps you to extract the date parts. Date parts are day, month, and year. So that is what these functions are capable of doing. And what you have to give is just the name of the function followed by the date, like I showed you right now. Just like that, since on date you can extract the date parts, in time you can extract the time parts. What are those? Hours, minutes, and seconds. We don't have any data with the time, so it's going to be difficult to illustrate. However, working is exactly like your day, month, and year. Hours will return 0 to 23, minutes will return 0 to 59, seconds will return 0 to 59. And all you have to give is the name of the function followed by the field which has time in it. And what is the function of today function? Today?
Gives today's date.
Today's date.
Give today's date. And now?
Now is current time.
Given time, date.
Now is current.
Date and time.
Date and time.
Now gives
Yeah.
date and time, current date and time, and today gives today's date. Okay. So you can use these functions for this purpose. Then there are functions called weekday and week num. We have already used the weekday yesterday, remember?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
We use this function weekday, which
Yes.
gives us number from 1 to 7, and week num will return numbers from 1 to 52 to understand which week we are in right now. Then there's a function called EO month, which is end of month.
End of the month.
Right? So if we want to return the date of the last day of the month, plus minus how many months you want. For example, if I'm right now in, what is the date today? 11th of March. And if I say EO month, comma 1, right? EO month, today's date, comma 1. So which date will it return to me?
31st of March.
March.
Not 31st of March. 30th April. Okay, just to quickly
Next month.
show it to you, next month. Plus 1, right? 1 is the how many months, after how many months.
Okay.
So if I put EO month, DAX, EO month, and start date, let's say I put today, comma, number of months, if I put 1, and I press enter, what am I getting? 30th April.
Mm.
Okay. If I put -1, I would get
31st March.
28.
No,
28th
28th
Okay.
Feb.
28 Feb,
It's
because
Feb.
we are going -1 month.
Yeah.
So this is the month. How many months ahead or how many months behind you want to go? That is what your EO month does.
If I'm not entering
Okay, if
any
I-
number,
If you don't give any number, I don't think so. That's a optional thing, is it?
If we give 0, then it will give 31st March.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Imran, there is no option. Like months is
Mhm.
not optional. It is compulsory for you to give. And if you give a 0 again, I don't think all these
no,
things
what if
have.
we want to get for the same month?
Yeah.
If you want to get, there would be something called, oh, this is when you give a 0, this is taken you to some other planet only. 2015, 31st of, this is giving you, oh,
But you're not using today. That's
today's date. Yes, hold on. I'm like, what is this? But I think it will give you for this month. Then it will give you 31st March.
why. Makes sense.
Okay. If you want to stay in the same month and look at the last date, then your month and 0. But not giving that would have issues, error. See, the red thing has come because it's incomplete.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have date diff. How many of you have heard about it?
The
It's a
difference.
And
The
Date
difference.
difference.
secret,
Between two
it's a
dates.
secret function of Excel. Do you know that?
It's a different from between two dates.
It's a difference between 2 days. And it is in Excel also, but it's a secret function. It never shows up in the list.
Yes.
So what it does, it returns the difference between the 2 days based on selected intervals. An interval could be a month, interval could be day, it could be a year. So for example, if I wanted to find the difference between the date and the year month DAX, then I can create another, let's say, new column, and just going to name it date diff DAX. And when you write date diff, it says, what is date one? Date one is typically the starting date. So I'm giving it as date, comma. What is the end date? It is year month. And sorry, not year month. Calendar, end of month DAX, and comma. Then comes, how do you want the difference to be? Do you want in days? Do you want in months? Do you want in quarters? Do you want in years? So if I do it in years and I press enter, then I'll get the difference in the month. So it will show me about 7 years different from 15 to 2022. Got it? So you can have the difference in months, you can have the difference in quarters. It's entirely up to you how you want the difference to be. So 86 months since 1st January 2015 till today, or till 31st. So this is how you use your date diff. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Why have I given the answer also? In the customer table, find the age of the customer using DAX.
Okay.
So Shani, do we have to make a today date column, or just it can be used in the formula? Today
One
date.
second. 1 second. Today day, yes.
So do we need to make a column, or just we
No,
can
no, no.
use it in the
Plug it in.
formula? Okay.
Plug it in the formula only.
Done.
There's one more question in the sales table. Create weekday and weekend. I think we've already done this, so you don't have to do it. And okay, that's it.
Done with the date, age.
Done with age. All right. Age is done. When I was explaining you if and or, I had already made you do
I also done.
weekday and weekend. So this is also done for you guys.
Age done, Shani.
The other one you already done yesterday. So age is done, then we are done. Any questions?
No.
No. Shitish done, Faisal done. All right. Next, we are going to work with something called time intelligence functions. In time intelligence functions, what are available over here? Let's see. Where did my time intelligence run? Hold on. Okay. Okay, before I do the time intelligence, since I just have a couple of minutes, let's talk about this function called relate. Okay. Now, what does relate to do for us? If you remember what we did in the sales table, we got product, price, and cost. How did you get product and the price and the cost over here? Price and the cost was not there originally in this table, but we have it. How did we bring it over here? Nobody remembers how you got them here?
We calculated in
Not
transformation.
calculate. We didn't calculate, but we did something in transformation. You're right, but not calculate. What did we do in transformation? So what this is, it is the field of some other table in this table. So how does that happen?
We join.
Join,
Then-
correct.
Custom.
Joins. These are joins or merging. Remember we did merging?
Yeah.
We said this is a table, this is a table, this is a common key. Let me pull these two columns and plug it in the sales, right? So anytime this kind of activity is there, it is done through joins or merge. But if you look at any visualization tool, whether it's Power BI or Tableau, the concept of join is there, but they really discourage everyone to create joins. The reason it's discouraged to create joins or do merging is because you are creating the same data twice. So unnecessarily making your file heavy, which should not be there. So if I don't want to do a merging, how will I get these tables over here to, let's say, calculate my sales value? So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to go ahead and delete these from my models. And quickly, we will calculate the sales column again without getting these fields in our over here. So delete from the model. Okay. And I don't want sales also to be here. So what was sales? Can anybody remind me what was sales? Sales was price into cost into the quantity, correct?
Yes, yes.
And
Price
what do
into
you want?
quantity.
Price into quantity. And what do you, let's say we wanted to create this column called sales, right? So how we do it? Right click, column, correct? We want a column called sales, right? So the new column. And next time when we meet, I'll show you how you don't have to create the column also. So sales DAX column. And how we can get it is that I want the order quantity. So that I have in this. Into when I do price, I don't get it. I'm not getting a choice, right? If I do price, I'm not getting a choice. Now, how will I get it? I will use this function called related. And what related helps me to do, since I have created some relationships between this table and the other tables, I can pick the fields of the other tables and use it via this function called related. So once I picked related, now you will see I'm getting the product price, comma, oh, sorry, not comma, minus related. I want the cost. So if I type in cost, I will also get the product cost. But if your models are not correct, if you've not done any kind of relationships between the tables, then related will not help you to bring that field over here. Now, since our sales is connected to our product table, I am able to pull the price and the cost directly and multiply it by order quantity to create my sales column. Okay, so very easy, nothing much, but what it shows is that we don't need to really get the fields into our table
This
through
is
merging and
profit,
joining.
right?
This is profit, absolutely correct. Sales would be only, sorry, no cost will be there. You're absolutely correct. This is profit, and this would be my sales. Price into
Quantity.
price into the sale quantity. Correct. You're absolutely correct. Price into the quantity. So to get the price, what we had to do, we had to use this function called related. What related helps us to do is bring the fields from the other tables. And how does it work? It depends on your models at the back end. If these two tables are related through your primary key, foreign key, then I can bring the information from one table to another table in my formulas itself. Got it? So we end over here. Any questions in related?
So you first deleted those.
Yeah, you may or you may
columns.
not. You may delete it, you may not delete it. It's not necessary you have to delete for this thing to work. It's just I'm creating too many duplicate columns in my sheet. That's why I thought I'll just delete it once. Okay. All right then. Feedback time. Please give the feedback. Thanks, Chanchal. And you have your assessment tomorrow. It's about 25 minutes assessment. And that's it. 25 minutes assessment is there. And Monday, there's no assessment. The next assessment is on Thursday, which will have these DAX functions that we are working with. So today, I have another training right after this. I'll get free by 6:30, 6:30. Then I'll make sure I upload these notes and the file in your LMS. Okay, so that on weekend, if you want to read through it or practice, you can do that. Any questions?
So assessment is for VBA.
VB
It's for-
assessment, if your name is there in the list, yes. And if your name is not there, relax, enjoy your weekend. And be prepared for assessment on Thursday for Power BI. And it will be on DAX.
Ishani, one small question
Okay,
related
thank
to charts only.
Mhm.
They were you told there's a variety of maps. Can you show that?
The variety of maps is from here. For example, if I put sales and I put country, right? So this is one map that you are able to see, but then we can go in the format, and over here we have map setting in the style. This is roads, but you can make it Arial, which looks like this. You can make it dark. You can make it light. So these are the various styles you can show the labels as.
Thank you.
Okay. And then if you want to change the bubbles, the size of the bubble you can change, as well as the color of the bubbles also you can change, because sometimes it may be that it becomes too light to look at. So I want a little brighter color so that it shines out. So I can change the size of the bubble, as well as I can change the color of the bubbles.
Yeah, that I have used it. Thank you.
All right. You guys have a good weekend. I'll see you back on Monday. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Shani.
Shani.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, Shani.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shani.
Thank you.